and welcome to night 3 of Oceans Deep Vacation Bible School. Tonight...
What about me? What about me?
Oh, how could I forget? You sit on my head all day. And this is Polly, and I'm Captain Lily. So tonight we're going to learn about obedient faith. Can you think of someone in the Bible that learned to have obedient faith? Well, if you guessed Jonah, you're right. Let's go check him out and see how he's doing. Jonah, oh my goodness, it's so good to see you, but gosh, my nose has smelled better days. I'm just gonna sit back for a second. So, you seen any big fish lately, huh?
Oh, you got jokes there, Captain Lily. Okay, let me get my hair out of my
Fix
face
that.
here. Okay, well, I'm going to tell you, ever since God taught me a lesson in obedient faith, I'm going to stay as far as I can away from the ocean, boats, fish, fishing rods, everything. I have no need for it. So I tell you what, when God wants us to listen and wants us to be obedient, you should do it. We have to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm living stinking proof, as you've
As
you've
I
made
can
mention.
see and smell here. So,
Yeah.
Jonah, just this story gets me every time. You know, I really want to know from you, man. How did you end up in the belly of a whale?
Well, we'll start somewhat at the beginning. I was praying, trying to listen to what God wanted me to do. And he told me that I needed to go to a city called Nineveh. Now, you may not know very many people from Nineveh, but there's some bad people out that way. I don't like them. I don't like anybody out that way. I have no reason to go. I don't want to go. So I just told myself, thinking, God, you must mean I should go another way. You really don't mean you want me to go this way. So I didn't go. I didn't want to go.
You didn't go?
No. But I was afraid. I was confused because I'm like, God don't know that he don't want me to go here. I'm gonna go somewhere else. So I was confused. So I ran in the opposite direction. Ran to Tarshish, which was Tarshish. Yes, it was an opposite way. I did not want to go to Nineveh. So and this was me running away from God, pretty much.
Wow.
I found a ship. That was probably my first mistake. Getting on a boat, found a ship that was going to Tarshish, and paid my ticket to get on, hopped on it, and we took off. But you see, I was thinking that I was going to be running away from God. Like he's not going to find me out here. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go where God is. But I wasn't thinking. In reality, God is with us wherever we go.
Right.
We can't go anywhere.
Can't
without
outrun
him being
it.
there. Can't outrun him.
Yeah.
And as soon as I got on the boat, the Lord brought a storm. It was windy. It was waves. Waves were coming in the boat. It was so forceful and powerful. We thought the boat was gonna break in half or flip over. Everybody was terrified.
Yeah, that sounds like some crazy wind. I've been around some wind and it just howls and stuff, but nothing that I think could split a boat in half. Well, I mean, why do you think God would do something like that?
Well, looking back, God wanted to get my attention in a big way.
Yeah.
Big way. I wasn't listening to him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just that I wasn't listening, and he made sure that he was going to get my attention and let me know it was time to obey him.
So, on the boat at this point, I can just imagine. You hop on, pay your ticket, you're like, what's up everybody? Let's go to Tarshish.
Yeah.
And you're going out there, and you're like, all of a sudden this big old wind comes, and you must have known a little bit, maybe what was going on, but what were these other men thinking that were on the boat at this point?
Well, I mean, they were terrified, scared to death. They all started praying and dancing around to their own gods and idols that they were following. You know, they were, and of course nothing was, their gods weren't going to help them. Right. Their gods aren't real. So, you know, they were all trying to fix the problem themselves. They were throwing their big expensive luggage off the boat and dumping food and trying to get rid of weight to keep us from flipping over. You know, they're just trying to make the boat lighter. I mean, and really, I wasn't up there with them at that time.
So Jonah, they're doing all this. I keep hearing you say they were throwing stuff off the boat, they were doing this, but like, what were you doing at this point?
Well, you may not know this, but I'm a hard sleeper.
Oh yeah, I think it says that in here, that you're a hard sleeper.
I'm a hard sleeper, but
yeah,
you know, at that point, while they're doing all this, I went down into the bottom of the boat.
Okay.
And I was sleeping.
Jonah.
I was sleeping.
Say it isn't so.
It was. I was sleeping. I had no idea this was happening, but the captain of that boat was not happy with me at all.
Oh yeah.
So he started yelling and screaming at me that I needed to call out to my God. I needed to pray to him. You know, perhaps these other people, other gods ain't helping us. Perhaps yours can help us. Maybe he'll save us, and we won't perish.
So it sounds like at this point, again, I'm just trying to keep up with this crazy ride of the story. Everyone's panicked. You know, you were sleeping, and finally you pray out to your God, and it sounds like everybody was trying to figure out maybe who brought this upon the boat, like who caused this storm.
They were all in the midst of everything, talking to each other, like they're all pointing at each other. This is your fault. This is your fault. You did this. You did this. You did that. And eventually, the blame fell back on me. I told them that of what I was running from, and they figured, well, you're the entire reason this is happening to us. From running from God. You know? And
so this part of the whole story is my favorite, okay? Because my sources, the Bible, tells me that, did you suggest that they throw you into the sea to calm it?
I said that?
Yeah, right here. You said it.
Huh.
God's word never lies.
Okay. Well, maybe I did suggest it a little bit. I mean, I felt bad. I felt bad for what I did to cause them to be in that storm, and they may perish and die, and I felt bad for it. So I did. I suggested they throw me overboard, get me off the boat. And then I kind of, I thought on the bright side in that moment that, well, I know my God can calm the storm. And I thought, maybe this will be a moment for them to see how powerful that my God is.
Yeah, maybe.
So after they threw me into the sea, the instant my feet hit the water, water was calm, waves stopped, everything was beautiful. Dolphins were leaping in the sunset. It was gorgeous.
Oh my God.
It was. And the best part is that all the guys that were on the boat started shouting praises to my God. And they all turned their lives over to God in that moment.
Wow, you're right. Now that should be everyone's favorite part, is that God used a situation like that to turn it into something good.
Right.
But I kind of want to fast forward here. Let's get to that fish part. What happened there?
Oh, right. This is the best part, right? So I'm in this great sea. I'm out here just floating around, minding my business. Out of nowhere, this fish just flies up out of nowhere and swallows me quicker than I can realize what's happening.
Oh my gosh.
I spent 3 days and 3 nights in this fish, and I prayed like never before.
So, when you say you pray like never before, what kind of things did you pray in the belly of the whale?
I prayed, I didn't want to die, number one. I didn't want to die, but I praised God for what He did. He calmed the storm. I was still alive. He was still taking care of me, even though I was in the belly of the fish. I feared Him. I respected Him through this. I devoted myself to Him, and I realized that I needed to fulfill my promises, and I needed to listen to what He wanted me to do.
Right. And just listening to you, just imagine if God wouldn't have sent that whale, to swallow you, then you may have died. You could have drowned.
Yeah.
So where you thought that well may have been the worst thing, that may have been God's way of saving you.
Yeah, he's faithful to us. He really is.
He is.
So, you know, after those 3 days, after all the praying and being scared to death the whole time, the whale just vomits me out onto the land.
Vomit?
Like vomit.
Wow.
Like got sick.
Okay, that.
Yeah. That's why I
just
stink.
explains the. Yeah, you
Yeah.
know what? That just
Oh.
explains the smell going on right now.
Oh, yes.
Phew.
Okay.
Woo! Okay.
Well, you know,
Vomit you out.
I didn't have time for much of a bath. I didn't.
Oh,
I came.
yeah.
You stopped me as soon as I came out of the well, pretty much.
No need to fear.
But
We got.
I figured I'd
Quick
stop
breeze.
by and speak to you.
Yeah.
You know, before heading to Nineveh.
Nineveh.
Doing what I was supposed to do in the beginning.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Jonah, you're gonna go back and finish the Lord's work.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's just good stuff. I'm so glad that you stopped by and got to see us before Nineveh. But
Yeah.
and it's been so good. It was such a great story, and I just think we have a lot of good nuggets in there. But can I give you a gift before you go?
Absolutely.
Okay,
I love
yeah.
presents.
Yeah, yeah, it's a towel. Just kind of
towel.
wrap up with that. It's gonna make you it's gonna absorb all that vomit
Oh.
smell. And if you're
Wow.
interested in getting a girlfriend, I'm just gonna let you take that for the road. You can
Oh, okay.
spray it and
Pumpkin patch.
yep, happy fall, y'all.